You know, we all like top 10 lists, especially when we're on the good ones. And if you've made it to Forbes magazine's list of bests, you're doing something right. So who is this Forbes guy? Well, he recently came to Utah to speak with members of the Utah League of Cities and Towns.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Utah League of Cities and Towns welcome to Mr. Steve Forbes.
Steve Forbes is listed as one of the wealthiest people in America year after year. He publishes the most widely read business magazine in the nation and has a worldwide audience. He knows a thing or two about finance. He also knows what keeps an organization healthy. So he and his magazine make lists of the best, and Utah and its cities shine.
Well, Utah's created an environment great for quality of life and for doing business. On the tax side, fiscal side, you've created a good environment trying to remove barriers. And in terms of diversity and quality of life, it'd be hard put to do better than what you have here, especially if you like winter sports.
Utah has been rated by Forbes magazine repeatedly in a variety of categories. 2010, Most Livable Cities, Ogden 2nd, Provo 3rd. Best Places to Raise a Family, Provo and Orem 5th, Ogden 6th. In 2011, Best States for Business, Utah is ranked number 1 for the second straight year. 2012, Best Places to Retire, Utah is 3rd. 2013, Best Places for Business, Provo ranks 2nd. And St. George is ranked as one of the happiest cities for job-seeking college graduates. Forbes says Utah has weathered an economic storm that is finally lifting. Utah has been proud to have been named in your magazine several times in recent years. What has the state been doing right?
You've got a much better environment for business than, say, California. So you've got refugees pouring in from that area. Several years ago, you simplified your state income tax, put in a single rate, flat tax, which of course I'm very partial to. So that's helped create an environment where people feel that the welcome mat is out, and you've got good educational institutions. So you're able to you've got a growing high-tech presence here, Provo and elsewhere. And so it's all coming together. So more people, more opportunity, good environment, hard to beat.
Forbes is considered an economic sage. This is a man who won the highly prestigious Crystal Owl Award 4 times, an award given to the financial journalist whose economic forecasts for the coming year proved most accurate.
There are signs of life in the American economy, whether it's more loans going to small businesses who are the job creators. We've had a perverse environment for that in recent years. You know more new taxes coming. That's a relief, even if it's only negative relief. It's at least not happening. The key thing to keep in mind is this only looks good compared to the recent past 4 or 5 years. I compare it to a baseball player who's been in a slump, is now hitting 250 when he should be hitting 350. 250 is better than 0, but not what it should be.
Steve Forbes speaks to millions through his media and has the ear of world financial leaders. But on this day, he shared personal insights, lessons that apply to all, regardless of stature. When someone comes to you and wants just a little tidbit of advice from a financial icon, what do you tell them?
We have a saying, it comes from Proverbs, in each issue of Forbes, which says, with all thy getting, get understanding. And in terms of investment advice, aside from you make more money selling it than following it, the advice would be, remember, emotions are your enemy. And in good times, the tendency is to pile in, say, is it too late to get in? And when times turn bad, as they do occasionally, tendency is to say, is it too late to get out? So you get whipsawed. Be consistent.
Money, he says, is merely a means to make it easier to buy and sell. Knowledge is what we should seek.
Well, money just comes about enabling people to do transactions with each other. And wealth is not physical things. Wealth is knowledge in the mind. And it's the difference between, say, having Warren Buffett manage your money and perhaps your brother-in-law. One knows what he's doing and the other may not.
And Forbes says do not look back.
When you look back on life, you always tend to think, if only I'd done this, if only I'd done that. You always assume everything else would have gone the way it was, that it would have gone well. That's not the way the world works. So you don't know if you'd done something differently. It may have had repercussions or impacts that you didn't anticipate. So instead of looking to the past, figuring out, look to the future.
For the Utah League of Cities and Towns, I'm Susan Wood in Salt Lake City.